Welcome to Munich, the capital of Bavaria, where centuries of traditions blend effortlessly with innovation and urban life. From medieval cathedrals to modern car museums, this city has something for every kind of explorer. In today's vlog, I'm taking you on a visual journey through some of Munich's most iconic spots with a little history and a lot of vibes. Let's dive in. Our journey started off with a museum that I always wanted to visit since I moved to Europe. And for a two-for-one experience, you can take a tour to the BMW World and Museum. This opened in 2007, and BMW World isn't just a showroom. It's an experience, as BMW would put it. It's an open showroom letting you know that there are some cars that define what being rich really means. In the same area, you're able to test and feel what it's like to be behind the wheel of the company's newest models. Walking over the bridge, right next door, you will find the BMW Museum, which takes you back to the company's roots in 1916, when they first started making aircraft engines, and as we know, this was around the time of World War One, and after that, they started making cars, and the rest was history. Today, it's all about high-performance cars, bikes, and more futuristic designs that drives the company forward. Their cars are named in numbers and letters, and if you know anything about BMWs, the 3 Series E30 M3 is looking finer than your dad's new electric car. That I can bet on. So we made it to the middle of the city, Marienplatz to be exact. And this has been the beating heart of Munich since 1158. And to put that into perspective, that's 1158 in the year, and that's the same time as when the city of Constantinople exists. So you get it a very, very long time ago. Now, the Old Town Hall is also there with its fairy tale tower, which dates back to the 14th century. And during the years, it's been rebuilt and restored, but still hold the soul of Munich with its architectural design. There's also the Glockenspiel on the new town hall, which I didn't watch, but it's meant to be good as it goes up daily, reenacting royal weddings and knightly duels with all the dancing figurines. I've seen a lot of these dancing figurines, and in my opinion, they are a little bit overrated. So, if you were to enter the Munich residence, I would suggest wearing a pair of sunshades, as the Munich residence is dripped in gold. The Munich residence was the seat of Bavarian kings for over 600 years, and with over 130 rooms, it is the largest city palace in Germany. You can see everything from Renaissance frescoes to gold-drenched Baroque halls, and whether you're inside or outside, you will find something royally outstanding to marvel at. There's a weird monument made of seashells inside. I'm not sure what's that about, but just seems a little fishy to me. However, Munich residence is like walking through centuries of power and ego, and honestly it's stunning, which would be also the case if you could subscribe to this channel. So you've been walking through Munich for a while now, and you start to feel hungry. But there's also a place for that. It's called Viktualienmarkt. Viktualienmarkt has been open since 1807, and before this it started as a small farmers market, but today it's grown to a gourmet paradise. You'll find everything here, the cheese, the Bavarian sausages, pretzels, and even things that may not be or may have been grown in Germany. So you could take a time out, grab a snack, sit under the maypole, or just have a wander around and watch the world go by. For me, it's a little bit touristy, but if you really want something a bit more authentic, then you'd have to leave this area. Now we're going to our churches, and there are very few places I've been to in my life that leaves this lasting impression on me. And this one is Asamkirche. It's located on St. Strasse and is a church that's possibly easy to miss, but once you get inside, it's impossible to forget. Asamkirche was built in the 1740s by two brothers as the personal chapel, and from the design inside and the attention to detail, it's easy to see that they had no reins, free imagination running wild, and this is just amazing. Inside is dripping with dramatic Baroque art, gold, angels, shadows. It's like a theatrical stage set for the divine. Now, it's interesting because it's built into 3 levels, with the bottom level being the darkest, and the top level, the lights get a lot brighter as you ascend towards heaven. So, for sure, you should get some time. Definitely visit Asamkirche, Munich. Now, it depends on what time of the year you decide to visit Munich. And one of the places you might end up finding yourself is the Visa. And this is the area at which the Oktoberfest takes place. And guarding this area is the Bavaria Statue. It's a giant bronze lady with a lion, which was unveiled in 1850 and today stands as a symbol of Bavaria pride and independence. Yes? Hello?
Hello. Sorry, but the man is
No, it's okay. Yeah, no. Why is it doing that? Kids will see it and follow.
Genau.
Yeah, it's just not good. How much for 4?
Children are free.
Okay.
Adults €5.
Okay.
Or your student is €4.
No. Leider, nein.
Okay. 2 children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go inside. It's a little bit tight, but you can climb into the head for a panoramic view of the city. Weird, maybe. Worth it, not sure. But it's not free, so decide whether you want to just watch from the inside or go inside. Also, just to the back of that, you would also find sculptures or head sculptures of famous Germans that contributed to society. Another church, Frauenkirche. You can't miss Frauenkirche, although in my opinion is not as good as the Frauenkirche in Dresden. However, it is Munich's most iconic landmark and built in the space of just 20 years during the late 1400s, which is quite impressive, by the way. Its twin towers today dominate the skyline in Munich. The church inside is quite simple, so don't expect anything too lavish or golden or tons of angels like Asamkirche. However, it is quite peaceful in there and it is worth a visit. One of the interesting things about this church that there is a devil's footprint that is still inside near to the entrance and you can see it. It is said that the builder and the devil made a deal. And after breaking the agreement, the devil got upset, stamped his foot, leaving his footprint, and they went back where he came from. So you've been wandering around Munich for a little while. You need a place to chill, maybe have a picnic, and something in your head say, let's go surfing or get drunk on Paulaner or one of the Löwenbräus. Then head to the English Garden. The English Garden is one of the largest urban parks in the world, even bigger than Central Park. That's the New York one. So when you get there, you might be surprised to see surfers riding waves on the Einbach River. It's called the Einbach Welle, which unfortunately I think it is shut down at the moment because someone had an accident there and the authorities decide that it's simply too dangerous to surf on the river. Besides that, there are also huge open fields, great forest path, and of course, the bear garden. The bear garden is one of the biggest bear gardens I've been to, and once you get there, you get to sample a lot of the German traditional bread, the biggest beer I've ever had in my life, biggest pretzel I've ever seen, and you can sit back in the sunshine and enjoy some good old traditional German music, which is also played there from time to time. So take a time out from the city walking around and go to the English Garden. You would not regret it. Now, I'm almost to my last stop of iconic places to visit in Munich. And this one I wasn't too excited to go to. The reason being that it's called Olympia Park. And in my head, I thought Olympia Park from 1972 Summer Olympics, this must be dilapidated, run down, left to rot. I could not be more wrong. Once you get to Olympia Park, you will realize that this place is an amazing space that's been utilized even up to today. So some of the things that you could do at the Olympia Park, simply walk around again and chill. Munich is great for these large open spaces. The Olympia Park seems a little bit more special. Maybe you want to swim in an Olympic pool or have a tour over one of the Olympic venues on the rooftops or a zip line across an Olympic venue. It gives you the chance to do all that, or just freely walk around and take in the sights. You could see people playing basketball, working out, or just hiking up to one of the vantage points, which gives you a great view across the Olympia Park. And as a bonus, the BMW World and Museum is just a stone throw away. The 10 iconic venues to see whilst you're in Munich. However, this one is worth a mention because although it's not in Munich, it is one of the places I think if you're in the area, you should definitely take some time out to go see. So take a day out, and not too far from Munich is Neuschwanstein Castle, aka the fairy tale castle, the same castle that inspired Disney. This was built by Mad King Ludwig II. And although he had the Munich residence, as we know with the gold halls and all that, he still wanted a retreat away from public life. So on a rock face in 1886, he then built the Neuschwanstein Castle. So this is the king that had his dreams come to reality. It is one of the best castles you could visit whilst in Germany, and it is well renowned. So take some time out, visit the castle. Book a ticket online to get inside. Get there on time because you have to climb the steep hill to get to the top. And take a good camera with you because the views are breathtaking. Talking about castles, subscribe to this channel so one day I can build my own castle. Leave a like, comment. Thanks for watching. Ciao.